Court is going to be in session on March 13th because we've got the judge, Ray Rodriguez, back on the program. He's going to be taking on Rani Yahya at UFC Fight Night. Ray, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, amazing, man. Just finished a training session and finishing up teaching class here at Ultimate Submission Academy, my gym, and going to refuel, get ready for the next one tonight.
Yeah, it's great to see you get a full camp for this one, right? As opposed to last time getting that UFC debut. When did you find out about the fight date? Because I know obviously the opponent got switched up, but it seemed like you got plenty of notice this time around.
Yeah, so Jason called me about, they gave us plenty of notice. I think we had like 16 weeks of notice getting ready for this fight. Jason called me sometime in the beginning of January. He let me know, or he called me and he was like, hey, we have a fight against Erwin Rivera. It's going to be March 14th. And I looked at my calendar. I was like, March 14th? That's a freaking year away. It's amazing. Like, it gives us plenty of time, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's been a little while, man. I didn't start camp until 8 weeks prior to the fight and on March 13th because I didn't want to completely overtrain, you know? So I was still doing my thing. And 8 weeks out, we really started turning it up and getting ready for this fight.
And then obviously I'm sure you heard the news about Rivera, not that we want to get into it too much, but I mean, how surprised were you? I think everyone was a little bit shocked as to what's happened and obviously sending our best to his family. At least you got an opponent switch up, but still that's pretty devastating news what happened there.
It was terrifying, man. So I didn't even know what happened. So Jason called me and he let me know that we were going to have an opponent switch, that Erwin Rivera had some legal issues, and that's all I knew, you know. I was like, it wasn't a big deal at the time. I didn't know exactly what was going on. And as the day went on, I started getting articles sent to me about exactly what happened, and I was just getting little tidbits of what was going on. So the first one says that he committed murder, and the next one was it was attempted murder to his sisters, and it kind of continued going on, and it's a scary thing, you know. And of course, man, my thoughts and prayers go out to his family. I hope everyone's okay, and I hope they can move forward with this. Yeah, but it was scary nonetheless, you know, and definitely something I've never experienced in my life, and it's pretty sure it's unprecedented at the UFC as well. So I'm just glad we got a new opponent and Rani Yahya, and looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, let's talk about Yahya. He's been a mainstay in the UFC since 2011. Like, you must have been stoked to fight him because he's a pretty well-known name in your division.
Yeah, you know what's crazy, man, is whenever I was in the Army, I was stationed at Fort Hood, and I think it was 2010, 11 years ago. Yeah, 11 years ago. The UFC, they came to Fort Hood. They had like a Fort Hood fight
for the troops. Whatever. Yeah, I remember when they used to do that. I don't know why they stopped doing that, by the way. It was a great event. But anyways, go ahead.
It was a good look. It was packed with soldiers, man. I had a whole bunch of people, and they should definitely start doing that again. But that night, I saw Rani Yahya fight. I forgot who he fought. Maybe it was Mike Brown or something like that. And for whatever reason, I remember seeing him specifically, and I loved that matchup 10 years ago. This is 10 years ago. And I was like, I would love this fight. Yeah, and fast forward 10 years later, man, it's someone who I'm fighting in the UFC. And again, still 10 years later, I absolutely love the matchup, man. Like, he's a stud on the ground, and his stand-up's getting better. But I feel like on the feet, we're going to outclass him. And on the ground, I'm not afraid to go to the ground with him either. You know, like, he's ADCC world champion. He's amazing at what he does, and I respect what he does. I just don't fear it.
Yeah, no, well said. Quickly want to talk about the debut. Again, a little crazy. Had to take that fight on short notice. You're fighting Brian Kelleher, really standout vet. What did you take away the most from that performance that you're bringing into this fight?
It was hard to have any major takeaways, man, just because it was such a weird experience, right? So 2 days before the fight, my manager calls me and he's like, hey, your blood work and your physical, are they done yet? Or have they been done in the last 6 months? And I was like, shit, no, I haven't done anything. And he was like, well, why? Like, it's career suicide. Like, you should have that done, right? So anyway, it's Thursday, about 5 o'clock. He's like, you need to have all this stuff done by like 8 p.m. so we can get you on an airplane to get to Las Vegas. So luckily, man, I was able to get the logistics down and get blood work, EKGs, physicals, and everything done. And whenever I land in Vegas, Jason House, my manager, calls me. He's like, hey, man, bad news. We're not going to be fighting after all. So the guy who Kelleher was going to fight, Kevin Natividad, he originally failed a test for COVID and he passed it. So they're like, I'm sorry, you're not going to fight or whatever. But we're going to continue going through the motions. We're going to get you weighed in or whatever and hope for the best pretty much. So I get to Vegas, do my weigh-in. I don't even do the square off with Kelleher, right? It's Kelleher and Natividad. I do my videos and stuff, and I still have to get a whole bunch of physical blood work and EKG or whatever. And that night before the fight, man, it was about 9 p.m. Jason calls me. He's like, "Good news, we're in. We're getting ready for it, man."
What a roller coaster, man.
It was crazy, it was like less than 24 hours. People say 2 days, but it was less than 24 hours. But with all that said and done, man, like I'll preface it with that had nothing to do with the fight, right? Like I made a mistake and I paid for it, you know. So I think a major takeaway would if I could take anything away from the fight would be just kind of enjoy the experience, you know, and not let the 2-day roller coaster get the best of you. You know what I mean? And again, now we have a full training camp, and I guess we can call it the UFC jitters for the first 2 days while I was getting ready for it. Those are gone, you know. And again, I know I deserve to be there, man. I've fought the best in my career for a long time. I've had ups and downs, and beaten guys in the UFC, and fought in a lot of people currently in the UFC as well. So just knowing that you belong to, or that you deserve to be in this arena, man, it feels good.
Training camp, how's that looking ahead of this fight? Anything different, or is it just business as usual in terms of the preparation for this fight?
So the only thing we're doing different is we're bringing in guys from different camps, man. I'm not big on cross training at different gyms. I have a family that don't want to be away from, man. I have 2 beautiful kids, and not being able to see their face every single day would drive me crazy. So we're bringing guys in from different camps, man, guys who are going to mimic Rani. Again, like I said, he has amazing jiu-jitsu, good single leg, right? Something that we've definitely keyed in on is whenever he's trying to get the fight to the ground, rather, he's looking for that single leg, and he's going to try to set it up with some wild punches. And we're looking at exposing a lot of the holes that he has. Yes, he is a veteran. Yes, he has fought a long time in the game, but he does have a significant amount of holes in his game. So again, we're looking to expose it.
Anyone notable you brought in? Any UFC fighters, or just sort of guys in the area that you're working with?
So we're working with like Anthony Ivy. He's
Aquaman Ivy. Yeah,
he's amazing, man. He's been a huge help going over specific positions with this guy, or for this guy rather. We just a lot of up and comers, a lot of regional pros who already have made their stamp in the game, but are still working their way up the ranks. So. Just like a huge amalgam of different people.
And in terms of the weight cut, all that's going well. I mean, you got plenty of notice this time. Don't have to worry. But I mean, you made weight last time, but it's just still, it's one of those things, right? So.
And I've never been so light before a fight. It's almost at a point where it's kind of scary, where I'm having to eat more because yesterday I finished practice and I think I was, I don't know, like 10 pounds over, which is crazy for 2.5 weeks out. So. Once I weighed myself after practice, it kind of spooked me a little bit, so I immediately went to this little, it's like a chicken and rice buffet, so I knocked that back. Probably going to do some barbecue tonight, put on some calories for sparring tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes.
Good stuff, man. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
So right now we have Phil Platt. So Phil Platt, someone who's been with me since my Army days, since 10 years ago. He's been in pretty much every one of my corner fights, or in every one of my corners, from my amateur days to my pro days. I have Coach Mitman Joe. I've been working with him for the past 8 fights, and we recently got a guy named Chris Herrera who moved over here from California. He was at Team Quest, and really knowledgeable, man. He's helped me significantly for this camp. So I'll have those 3 guys in the corner.
How's this fight playing out on March 13th?
Looks like we're winning by knockout, man. Again, if it stays on the feet, we have a significant advantage, you know. I feel like it's going to play out very similar to the Jimmy Flick fight, man. Whenever we fought Jimmy Flick, we kind of called it. We're going to land some shots. He was going to look for a takedown. We'll stuff it, and it kind of freaks him out, gets him out of his comfort zone a little bit. I've heard that Rani's been working on his boxing, and he's going to want to showcase some of his skills. But we've just been doing this for a long time, man. You know, I've been working on my striking game for 13 years. You know, I've been trying to perfect it. So, hoping for the knockout, man. But anyway, we get our hand raised. I'm more than happy with it.
By the way, how good does that win over Jimmy Flick look now, considering the amount of wins he's had? He's a mainstay in the UFC now.
Oh, he's a stud, man. Even whenever I fought him, getting ready for that fight, it was a rough training camp. Again, very similar to what we're going through now. You know, a really stud grappler. I would say maybe even a little bit more prolific with the submission attempts that he does in the fight. If you saw his Contender Series fight, it was sub after sub after sub after sub. It just never stopped, you know. So it's good having that experience, having fought someone of that caliber of jiu-jitsu, and being able to mitigate the chances of them putting on a submission or anything.
Looking forward to it. It's March 13th, UFC Fight Night. Ray, always great catching up with you, man. Glad to see you getting a full camp this time around. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, I'll give you the last word.
Awesome, man. Yeah, guys, you guys can find me on or at Ray the Judge on Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook. Huge thanks to all of my sponsors, man. There's too many to name right now. I've had a huge support system for this camp, and looking forward to running with it all the way through our UFC career, man, and being able to climb up these ranks together. So everyone who supported me from day one, thank you guys so much. I wouldn't be here without you guys, and looking forward to getting this W on March 13th.